guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to talk about Grohak the Bloodied. On paper, the worst legendary in the game, which when I pulled him, if you guys saw that shard opening video, I reacted as, you know, probably most people would react when they think they pulled the worst legendary in the game, just like kind of excited because it's ironic, right? The worst legendaries have historically been some of the best buffs in the game as well. So it's almost like you hit, at first you're like, ooh, kind of legendary, yes, and then you're like, ooh, no. But then you think about it and you're like, okay, well, they buffed Dracomorph, they buffed the Yannicka, they buffed Mashaled. There's been a lot of like mediocre / bad legendaries who they buffed to be really, really good in the game. They buffed Shamrock, who's not god tier, so that was kind of a weaker buff. But they're way more apt to buff legendary champions in this game. I want to throw the question to you guys. Honest question, would you rather them buff champions more or nerf champions more in this game, more balanced changes in this game? Or do you like kind of the cadence that they have, you know, every, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months or so, kind of doing a little bit, maybe about, what do they do, like a dozen, not even a dozen usually, about like 5, 10 champions kind of balance changed. Me, I think that, I don't want to go crazy here, but I would like to see it a little bit more often, especially the crappiest champions in the game. Just give them a little buff, right? Just a little buff. Make them a little bit more interesting and appealing, and hey, you know, player aim at the end of the day, people will just be spending more money to upgrade these champions if you buff them anyway. So I'm surprised, in a weird way, right, that they don't buff more champions, because it will make people, you know, spend more resources to max them out. Anyway, guys, today we're going to talk about this champion. I'll tell you what, I gave the thumbnail information to my artist last night, before I actually tried out Grohak the Bloodied in everywhere in the game. Obviously, he's the worst ratings, and you know we don't put any stock into ratings, but it bears mentioning at least. He has pretty much 3s across the board in terms of the in-app whatever ratings. Over 1,000 reviews too. So people who have him generally are not that, you know, not that impressed with this champion. I, however, am very impressed. So what I want to do is kind of push him a little bit to the max. You can see I already have pretty good gear on this champion. I read off his skills when I pulled him, and they kind of seemed underwhelming, right? On his A1, attacks 2 times at random, so not even a targeted A1, it's just totally random. Each hit has a 50% chance win booked of placing a decreased speed for 2 turns. Okay? Hits. I heard that this champion hit very, very, very softly. However, I'm very surprised at how hard he hits on some of these abilities. We'll talk about it, right? We'll show you guys. Attacks all enemies AoE on the A2, 4-turn cooldown though. Fills his champion's turn meter by 20% for each enemy under decreased speed debuff. So right off the gate here, I'm going to tell you guys that Grohak the Bloodied, I've learned, is really, really solid when paired with another decreased speed champion on your same team. Tanix, who's coming out in next week on the daily login rewards, is a good example of a champion to be great to be paired with. There's a lot of decreased speed champions. Dark Aethel comes to mind. Trying to think of non-legendaries. Shamrock is another legendary, but another champion that has decreased speed. There's a lot of them out there with decreased speed. So much better, because basically this Unbound Anger can fill his turn meter completely, and then he goes again immediately after, because as long as he's hitting 5 targets under decreased speed. On his A3, Lord of War, 5-turn cooldown, can be booked down to 4 turns. Attacks 1 enemy and steals the target's turn meter. Kind of like the Siphon ability from Man-Eater, okay? But it hits a lot harder. This actually is a very hard-hitting ability. I heard again, I watched a couple of videos, and I heard that the multipliers were really, really weak on Grohak the Blood. And I just want to say this right out the gate, guys. Definitely does need a buff. I agree that he needs a buff, but I do disagree. I found a lot of rankings out there that had him as the worst champion. And that's what I thought I pulled. I thought I pulled the worst legendary in the game. But I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Maybe it's one of those things in life, right? You ever see a really bad movie and all your friends tell you it's awful, and then you go into it watching with such low expectations that you're like, wow, this is a great movie. I love this movie, you know? It's kind of how I feel about Grohak the Bloodied. Increase ally speed by 24% in dungeons. So a good dungeon champion, especially Spider, Ice Golem, and Dragons. All right, so his masteries. I gotta give a shout out to my man Scratch, AK-47. Actually looked at a bunch of different masteries out there. I came up with my own kind of masteries. I made a couple adjustments on what I had. Just a couple of options here early on in the offensive tree. and I decided to go down with Flawless Execution, really stacking up crit damage on this champion. He did a champion guide on him, and that's what he advocated as well, and I found that to be the most successful strategy. Okay, so I ended with Flawless Execution, went kind of kill streak, and I guess typical Flawless with Blood Shield, and went with Sniper to increase the chance at landing the Evil Eye as well, to increase the chance at landing those decreased speeds. And of course, he does have the stealing turn meter is based on accuracy as well. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So this is how I have him built, guys. Crit damage is your number one, the number one thing you're looking for on this champion, right? You want him to hit hard. I really hope they do give him a buff so his multipliers are even better. Then he'll be hitting like absolutely, you know, he's not one of the hardest hitters in the game, but he hits incredibly hard, especially in the arena, which I'm going to show you guys in just a moment. So crit damage on the gauntlets, if you can get the crit rate from everywhere else, that's what I was able to do with these artifacts. I was also looking for basically crit damage, crit damage, crit rate, and a little bit of speed, and a lot of accuracy. I was looking for accuracy everywhere, and this can apply to any champion in the game. It doesn't just have to be Grohak the Bloodied. But one of the first things I advise people do, right, after you have a champion all geared out, if you have an accuracy banner on them and they're a non-arena debuffer, right, a champion that needs accuracy, that you don't plan on relying heavily on like Platinum tier arena or high gold 4 arena, basically speed farming in the arena is fine. Look to try to transition them out of accuracy banners into an attack banner or into a defense banner at their defense base. I find that, you know, extra 400 attack on a 6-star is actually really, really valuable. So I was able to just look for the accuracy to get them to 236 from other gear, other artifacts here, and that's what I looked for. So accuracy on these gauntlets, for example, wow, that's pretty solid. So speed, attack percentage, when, you know, I just want to show you guys, I just want to show you him in action here, because odds are most of you probably don't have him, so I don't want to spend a ton of time kind of going over his profile in that regard. So let's go ahead and take him right into the arena, and then I want to show you him in Spiders and in Ice Golem. Classic. Let me just start with the first team. I'm sure we can take care of any of these teams with ease. So I have him in here. Wait till you guys see how hard he hits, man. Definitely a fun champion. Albeit not the strongest, but fun. As I said, the movie analogy is perfect here. So here, we're going to hit with the A3. Let's see. Who do we want to kill? We're going to kill Duchess. And check, well, she's level 50 though. Yeah. Let's kill Trunda. Boom, 129,000 damage. Not bad. And notice his turn meter is full. We totally stole her turn meter. Can be fun in the arena, right? Because you kill somebody, you steal their turn meter, and then you get to kill another person, essentially. Or not kill another person, but you get to hit hard with the A2. Now, we don't have, again, if we paired with a decreased speed, we could take another turn again. That's the cool synergy in his kit. The A3 steals turn meter, gets you back to full. The A2, if I had somebody else going right now, or before him with a decreased speed, then I would fill it back up to full again off the A2, and boom, he'd go into his A1, and boom, if I had it booked, the Lord of War would again be off cooldown. So kind of, oh, whoa! 60, 60, 60, boom, everybody's dead off this A2. Not too bad, right? Let's just kind of do one or two more arena battles real quickly here. I am not high. I've noticed that I'm falling a lot faster in the arena lately. Have any of you guys noticed that as well? I know they've made quite a few arena changes recently in this game. And geez, one night, you know, of forgetting to do my arena battles like late at night or whatever. And it's like, wow, I am, okay. So now we have a couple revivers on this team. But yeah, I fall like gold 2 from like platinum. It's crazy. So let's see if we can kill Duchess this time. Boom. And we do 83,000, and we're back at full turn meter, man. It's pretty, I gotta say, he's pretty fun. He's a pretty fun champion, you know? And you can see, again, we'll go into the A2, and boom, killed 94,000 damage to Turvold. See you later. Not bad. Not bad. We'll do one more arena fight just to see. And you guys can kind of see how the kit synergizes. I like him. I like this champion, you know? And that was his A1 there, hitting for 24k. And again, it is 2 targets at random here. I don't think he's the worst legendary in the game. I think he's probably far from it, actually. You know, I mean, let's just go to the last team here. nothing great to attack here in terms of really, really difficult teams, but still, you guys will get the point here. This team is my main arena team with Trunda out and him in. So again, land those provokes, get the decreased defense up, and it's basically who do I want to kill here. It's going to be my turn in a second. Don't want to kill two more. Let's go after, I think we can kill anybody here. Anybody we want. Let's go big in first. Boom, 136,000 damage. He does have one cruel set on, so he's ignoring a little bit of defense, but that's all that's from. Let's just get turn meter down on Lysandra and go with the A2, see what we can do. About 40k, man, there's a lot of damage, basically. a lot of damage is what it was. So not bad at all in the arena. You can see how he can be fun, a little bit different in the arena than what we're used to. It's kind of refreshing in a way. I was, again, just a fun champion. So let's try him out in a dungeon, guys. Let's start out in Ice Golem's Peak. This champion, he can be, I have him kind of in a fun team here. Actually, yeah, I have Lysandra lead. It's the same speed aura. It's good. So you can put him as a team lead. I have him in lead on my dungeon team, and you know, it's nice to have that speed aura in dungeons. There you go, right there. Boom, goes to the A2. Shamrock is putting down the decrease speed on all of the enemies. He's going right after that. He's filling his turn meter, going right into his A3, the Lord of War ability. So it's nice. I wouldn't be using this champion in Fire Knight because of the negative affinity matchup in level 20. I will be using this champion in, who knows, maybe I can kind of mess around and find a team that's you know, a little bit faster and effective. Right now, this is kind of just messing around here for Ice Golem. But either way, I think he's a good Ice Golem champion. And for Spiders especially, right? Think about his A2 in Spiders. He's filling his turn meter all the time, and then he depletes the full turn meter of the Spider Mother, or whatever she's called, you know, of the Spider herself. So really, really effective champion in those two areas. And the reason I maxed him out, the reason I invested in this champion to begin with is for Faction Wars. I'm at level 20 in Orcs, not my strongest Faction War team. So I think he'll help a lot. Maybe not on stage 20, but especially on stage 21 when I get there. Having a fully decreased turn meter for the boss on stage 21 of Faction Crypts is so important, so incredibly important to have. So I'm really, that was the number one reason I kind of built him out here. So here we go. We're seeing him against the Ice Golem here. We don't have any block reviver on this team, so gonna have to deal with these minions every single time. Not gonna be the fastest run in the history of the world, but you can see it's nice to have that turn meter fill here. If I went on manual, I could have him grabbing from the turn meter of the Ice Golem himself rather than focusing on the minions, but it is what it is. You guys get the point. There we go. Lord of War stole turn meter from that left minion there, and now he's almost ready to go again. With all this turn meter stealing and on the A2, the turn meter fill of 20% per hit on decreased speed targets, I don't think you have to necessarily build this champion to be the fastest in the world, right? Again, I have him at 160 or so on speed, and I think that's fast enough because he's just filling his turn meter all the time as is. So here we go, health getting a little bit low there. We do have a revive on death on a few of our champions. Got to be careful here, though. We need Miscreated to put that shield up now, please. Miscreated monster, help me out. And he doesn't. He's one away, but it's okay. We're going to finish the... Actually, we get the final blow with a Grohak the Bloodied. So Grohak the damage dealt more damage than Dracomorph. That's saying a lot, man. That's saying a lot. 1.8 million to 1.5 million. I found the same thing in Dragons, guys. Same thing in Dragon. He's out-damaging Dracomorph. That's pretty crazy. Granted, he's not adding all the same utility. He's there just for damage and, you know, turn meter fill. But yeah, man, I mean, that's solid, right? That's solid. I would show you him in, this is, I'm not going to show you the whole run, but this is kind of the Dragon team I was messing around with him in. Actually, nope, it deleted the Dragon team. I take it all back. I take it all back. I'll show you the Spider team I was messing around with him in, and then we'll go ahead and end the video. So I have him in lead here with the speed aura again, 24% on the speed. I have a Coltar, a Miscreated, a Bellower, and a Bellower is there for the decreased speed, and a Dracomorph. So Dracomorph could be subbed in for Stagnite, or subbed out for Stagnite, or Tyrell, or any debuffer. So Bellower is in a stun set as well, and he doesn't have good gear on right now. But it's all about getting that decreased speed on those Spiderlings. It didn't really work out. I had the wrong speed order here, Grohak being faster than Bellower, but eventually it'll kind of even out. This is going to be the fastest team that you've ever seen, and of course, he will be kind of outshined by Coldheart when it comes to overall damage output, but I think you'll be surprised again with his damage output and the fact that he's going to be very handy to keep stealing that turn meter. You can see he just did it again. He's just a turn meter specialist. It's a cool champion, man. I was really prepared today. Honest to God, I was prepared to sit here and just crap on this champion and be like, he needs a buff so badly. Again, like I said before, he does need a buff, but not a huge buff, I don't think, you know? I mean, it'd be nice to have a huge buff, like, sign me up, right? I would love to him to be one of the best champions in the entire game, but I think that, like I said earlier, I think anybody who pulls this champion probably going to be using this champion, man. Like, he's a solid champ. So here we go. Decreased speed on just the Mother Spider here, landing some stuns thanks to Miscreated. And again, that was his A1 there, I believe, going off against the Spider. So this is actually going to take a little bit. We've allowed the Spider to heal herself up despite the turn meter, control of the Heartseeker, and the Lord of War ability. So I'll come to you guys, well, the heck, we'll just watch it. Let me know, guys. What do you think of this champion? Like, what do you think of this? Again, I went into this thinking that I was making not a mistake, but it's just like, I'm just gonna waste my resources on this guy, you know? To now having like a newfound respect for a champion that I hadn't really given any thought into. And again, turn meter's still there on the A3, but we didn't steal a ton. It's kind of obviously a little bit RNG based. But yeah, man, getting all those debuffs up. Let me know what you think of him. Let me know, more importantly, do you think this dude needs a buff, or do you think he's good as is? I almost hesitate asking that or speaking too highly of him because I know there's a big champion rebalancing coming in the next patch. I think it's 2.1. I think it's the next one. Is it 2.12 or I don't know. Either way, there's a huge champion rebalancing coming soon. So again, let me know what you think of Grohak. Let me know what you think of more frequent balancing, or if you're happy with things the way they are. And it looks like this is going to be about a 2-minute and 40-second run or so. There we go. His Heartseeker ends things off. And let's see. Coldheart put out almost 7 million damage. Grohak put out, again, out-damaged Draco, 3.2 million damage. Not too bad, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this champion guide on a champion that people don't really talk about that much in the game. If you have any other suggestions on champions that people don't talk about, especially epic and rares, because I actually have all those champions, let me know. Happy to do a guide on one of them. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.